Hi, today's lesson is on Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. Need to use fingers for this with the right hand. It's not really one you can use a pick for. And you also need a capo on 2nd fret. So the notes of your guitar should sound like this. Okay, not too much to the song in terms of structure. There's a main sort of picking sequence which goes through nearly the whole song, and there's not really any variations on that. Pretty much she sticks to the same thing all the way through. And then there's a bridge or middle 8 section which happens 3 times in the song, and there's a tiny variation. That's a bit more strummed, that part. There's a tiny variation on the 3rd one. If you want to be really accurate, then I'll show you the variation that's in the 3rd one. So there's just really these 2 sections. So the first part, when I'm talking about chord names, by the way, I'm assuming that this is the end of the guitar. So so for example, if I did this, I'm going to call that a D, even though it's not actually a D because of the capo. D would be back there, but we call it D because it looks like a D. So it's just easier to think of it like that. And likewise, I'll also refer to the fret numbers as though that's the end. So I'd call this 1, this 2, this 3. Okay, so it starts off with this main riff, which is based on a C chord to a G chord. And what we've got to do is play 3rd fret on the 5th string, put your finger there, leave it there, 3rd finger. And then with the other hand, play the 5th string with your thumb. At the same time, use your 1st or 2nd fingers to play the 2nd string, but catch the 3rd string as well. So it's one of these sort of pinching movements where your thumb is playing the 5th string and your 1st finger is playing the 2nd. But because your 1st finger is playing upwards on the 2nd, you catch the 3rd string as well, like this. And it's easier to do that than to avoid the 3rd string, which would be that. But she actually catches that one. And as soon as you've done that, you hammer on with your 1st finger to the 2nd string, 1st fret, like this. And then you take that finger away again, leave the bass note there, and play the 2nd string again, catching the 3rd string again. So that was. And then we change chord shape to kind of a G chord, but it's not the full G chord. Basically what we want is 3rd finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, 2nd finger on the 6th string, 3rd fret. Hold those there and play with your thumb, similar to what we did before. Play the 6th string this time with your thumb, and 2nd string with your 1st finger, but catch the 3rd again like we did before. Leave the shape there, play the 2nd string, catch the 3rd string again like before, and then on the end of that you play the 3rd string on its own. And that's all just leaving this hand the same. So that second part was. So if I put those 2 together slowly, it's this. And that 3rd string open on the end is important because it fills a little gap. So it's important to try and get that. So if I play that up to speed, it's this. Okay, then we go to a shape called a 10th. I won't go into the theory of what that is at the moment, but it's a shape you may be familiar with. We've got to go to, counting from the capos, 7 and 8. 7 on the 5th string, 8 on the 2nd string. Now when you're getting away from the capo like this, I see that as 9th fret, because that's what it actually is, and the capo doesn't feel like it's involved at the moment. So to be correct, I should probably call it 7th fret, so it tallies with what we were saying earlier about that being 3rd. Yes, anyway, it's there. So it's 7th fret on the 5th string, 8th fret on the 2nd string. I'm using 1st and 3rd fingers, which I think is best for this. And then you've got to do that pinching thing again. Play the 5th string with your thumb, second string but catch the third string, probably with first finger, like this. And whilst that's ringing, and then just play the second string again. So that's, and then we move this shape back to 5th and 7th fret. So it's a slightly wider spacing. So this finger moved back 2, that one only moved back 1. Play the same strings again, 5th and 2nd, but catch 3rd as well. And then play the 2nd string again, keep the shape, and then 3rd string. Slowly, that sounds odd, but that is right. So I'll put those two together slowly. And I'll put it up to speed with the first bit. And that's the main sequence that goes round through most of the song. There's a little variation on that second part, the second bar, that first bit. That's 1 bar, this is 1 bar. Now that second bar, there's a little variation that comes in just a couple of times. I think it's in the intro and also just before the second middle 8, I think. But anyway, yeah, listen to the song and you'll hear where it comes in. Just this little variation, which is when you go up to here, instead of going and we do this, we play the same shapes with the left hand, play the 5th, 2nd and catch the 3rd again like before, but then quickly add little finger onto 10th fret 2nd string. It's really a 12 but I'm calling it a 10 because of that. Take your little finger away, play that 2nd string again, so that was, and this one and the 3rd string open are still ringing. Do it again. Move to the 2nd shape, play just the 5th and the 2nd strings. Whilst they're ringing, add little finger onto the 8, play that, take it away, play the string again. So slowly put those together. So if I play that with the first part as well, it's this, up to speed. So that's almost the whole song. You've then just got the middle 8 to learn, and the middle 8 is more strummed. Just a quick sort of mention about what the actual strum pattern is. I'm not going to be too precise with the strum. You sort of do it how you feel it, but it's roughly this. So it's down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Now that's a strum which fits a lot of songs. If you happen to be one of my private students or have been, then you'll recognise that as being called strum number 2. That's what I call that one. It's the second most common strum. I'll do it again slowly. So it's down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Okay, so to begin with, you might just want to do a real simple 1, 2, 3, 4, just to get the hang of the chord sequence. So anyway, the actual chords themselves, we've got C, normal C chord, which you probably know. G, standard G with 4 fingers that you've probably played before. E minor 7. Now E minor 7 there's lots of ways of playing, but the one we want for this involves going from the G to E minor 7 by just moving 1 finger. So it's like an E minor chord here, but you've got those 2 there. So that was C, G, E minor 7. I actually lifted this finger off then because I need to move it back a bit to let that one in. So you can either lift it off or just slide it. It's on the same note, just needs to move back a bit to let this in. Then we've got D, normal D, that 3rd finger stays where it is still, from this chord to D. Okay, so that's a bar each. I'll just do that with that strum I was talking about. Okay, and then the next part is C to E minor, half a bar on each, standard C chord, just a normal E minor this time. So it's half a bar on each, but the E minor is pushed, which means technically it's actually more than half a bar, and the C is a bit less than half a bar. The E minor is a bit early. I'll just play it, you'll hear what I mean. So the strum I'm using there is down, down, up, up, down, and I changed to the E minor, down, down, here, up, down, so it's... Okay, so I'll put that together with the first part. Okay, then we have a bar of D. Back to that first strum. Repeat those two bars, so C, E minor, D. And then we have a bar of just C to D with the D pushed, so just like we did with the C to E minor. And it's a strange end to that middle section really, or the bridge section if you want to call it a bridge. It's a strange ending because it just goes one bar, which is C to D, which feels like an extra bar slapped on the end of it, but then you're straight back into the riff. So it goes... back into that. So the whole middle eight played up to speed is this. Into that. Okay, and that's almost the whole song. Only other thing to talk about is, and this is only if you want to be really, really precise with this song. This is more accuracy than most people are going to want. But anyway, I'll tell you what it is. It's 3 middle eights, or bridges, whatever you want to call it. So it happens 3 times. Now on the third one, the first 2 are exactly as I just played them. On the third one, there's a slight difference, which is when you go to the bars with the E minor being pushed, C to E minor, instead of a normal C to E minor, she plays 2 chords which have still got the same names, C and E minor, and it's the same shapes, but the little finger is added on the 1st string 3rd fret. Now, without going too much into the theory, that doesn't change the name of those chords. So this is a C, just like this is a C, and this is E minor, just like that's E minor. It's just another way of playing those chords. So you do exactly the same thing with the push and everything, but little fingers there. So just to demonstrate that, I'm going to slowly play the 3rd middle 8. Okay, and you'll also have spotted then something I forgot to mention, which is the C to the D with the pushed D chord, the last bar of that middle 8. That also has the little finger on the C. So it's just a slight difference that you can hear if you listen carefully on that 3rd middle 8. Okay, that's really the whole song. If you want to know how she ends it, I'll just show you. So if I just play one complete sequence of the riff, the main riff, followed by the ending, it's just... So you can see from that, it's just the very beginning of the main riff. But when you get to this 2nd shape, just go 6th, 2nd, but catch 3rd as well. That pinching movement. So it's kind of a G chord. that's how it ends. So that's the whole song. So if you have any questions about that, put them in the comments, and please click like if you like this one, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And if you want to suggest other songs that you'd like to see lessons on, then please do. Okay, thanks.